Dear students, in this video we'll study about the magic T. I already explained that the magic T is a combination of E plane and the H plane T junctions. So here in the magic T we are having a ports, that is port 1, port 2, port 3 and port 4. So two waves of equal magnitude and same phase are fed into port 1 and the port 2. The output will be 0 at the port 3 and additive at the port 4. So you can see in the diagram here, if I am sending the wave at the same wave at the port 1 and the port 3, it will be additive at the port 4 and 0 at the port 3. The second point is, if the wave is fed into the port 4, that is H arm, it will be divided equally between the port 1 and the port 2 of the collinear arms. So here you can see in the figure, if I am sending the wave in the port 4, it will be equally divided between the port 1 and the port 2, and it will be 0 at the port 3. If the wave is fed into the port 3, that is E arm, it will be produce an output of equal magnitude and opposite phase of the port 1 and port 4. The output at port 4 is 0. So I can see here, if I am sending the wave in the port 4, it will equally divide between the port 1 and the port 4 with the same magnitude and opposite phase, and there will be zero value. The value of port 4 will be 0. That is S43 and S34 is equal to 0. If the wave is fed into one of the collinear arms at port 1 or port 2, it will not appear in the other collinear arm at port 2 or port 1, because E arm causes a phase delay while the H arm causes a phase advance. So I can tell that the S12 and S21 is equal to 0. The S matrix of the magic T is, we are having a 4 port, so we need to write a 4 cross 4 matrix. So this is a 4 cross 4 matrix. Wherever the values I am getting 0, I have written in the matrix it is 0. So now we can see the hybrid rings are rat race circuits. An annular line of proper electrical length to sustain standing waves, to which 4 arms are connected at proper interval by means of a series of parallel junction. So in the hybrid rings, it will have a 4 arms. These arms are connected at proper interval. So we can see here hybrid ring with the series junction. So hybrid ring with the series junction with the proper interval. So this is port 1, port 2, port 3 and port 4. So interval is lambda g by 4, and here also lambda g5 and lambda g4 with proper intervals. So the characteristics of this hybrid T are, when a wave is fed into the port 1, it will not appear at the port 3, because the difference of the phase shift of the waves traveling in the clockwise and the anti-clockwise direction is 180 degrees. Thus the waves are cancelled at port 3. Similarly, the waves fed into the port 2 will not merge at the port 4. So I can see in the diagram, if I am sending the wave here, so what the sentence will say that if we fed into the port 1, it will not appear into the port 3, because that phase shift for the waves traveling in the clockwise and anti-clockwise is 180 degrees. So it will, port 1, if I send the wave means it will not appear in the port 3, and if I sending wave in the port 2, it will not appear in the port 4, and so on. Therefore the S matrix of the ideal hybrid is given by, so this is also, here also we are using the 4 cross 4 matrix. So here suppose if I am sending it is at the port 1 means it will not appear at the port 3. So here S11 and S3 value will be 0, and suppose here if I take example, if I am taking at the sending the wave at the port 2, it will not appear in the port 4. So these two values are again 0. Again here port 1 it is coming into picture, so port 3 value will be 3 value will be 0, and again we are considering here 4 2, and here it is 4 4. So I am sending at the port 4 wave means it will not appear in the port 2. According to that, alternate values we need to make it as 0 in the matrix. Phase cancellation occurs only at a designated frequency for an ideal hybrid rings. In actual hybrid rings, there are small leakage couplings, and hence the 0 elements in the matrix above are not quite equal to 0. Some values will get, but it is not exactly equal to 0. So now we'll see what is the waveguide corners, bends and the twist. Now we'll see the pictures of this waveguide corners. So now we can see here this is the E-plane corner. So corner is bending. So it is of length L. So this the diagram shows E-plane corner, and similarly it is the H-plane corner. So you can see in the diagram this is the H-plane corner of the length L also showed. This is the bended part. They have given the length L. So now this is bend. Next one is the bend. So you can see here it is the width and breadth measurement they have given here. And the next one is the continuous twisted. So you can see that twisted guide. Twisted guide you can see here and of length L. These waveguide components are normally used to change the direction of the guide through an arbitrary angle. In order to minimize the reflection from the discontinuous, it is desirable to have a mean length L between the discontinuities equal to an odd number of quarter wavelength. So for that, the formula what we can write it here is L is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda g by 4. So here n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, and lambda g is the wavelength of the waveguide. According to the wavelength and according to the given n values, we need to calculate the length of the particular guides. The mean length L is an odd number of quarter wavelength. The reflected wave from both the ends of the waveguide section are completely cancelled. For the waveguide bend, the minimum radius of the curvature of small reflection is given by the Southworth as, so that R value is equal to 1.5 B for a E bend. And suppose if you are considering for the H bend, that R value is 1.5 A, where A and B are the dimension of the bend. So if you want to calculate the radius of the E bend and radius of the H bend, means corresponding dimension they will be given in the problem. According to that we need to calculate the R values.